we'll just stick with that. But we're not going to send that. We are going to... Oh, look at that. We're live, actually. So let's do this. Let's go back to Deadpool. Let's connect the drawing screen. There it is. All right. Oop. Gotta change something real quick. Animate with me, Deadpool. There we go. So we send this out to... Let's post in animation. Some flare. Boom. Boom. Let's get it out to LinkedIn. Oh man, some more Deadpool tonight. Copy, post, and let's get it out to let's get it out to Facebook. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the live stream. So I didn't stream the other night because got a little sick, a little under the weather. I didn't want to risk it and be on the stream, and then my voice was going out. It's still kind of hoarse, so I didn't want to really dive into that whole conundrum and have you guys hearing an old man here on the stream. So I decided to just take a day off and jump back in today. So I'll probably try to do a makeup for the stream a little bit later. Maybe like on a Friday. No, I'll be streaming Friday. I might make up for it on like Saturday or something like that. But my voice is still a little weak, still a little scraggly. But I'm gonna try to push through it as much as I can. So tonight, jumping back into where we left off with Deadpool. So let's just recap and see where we're at. Let's go back to the animatic. So let's see. Oh, gotta turn on the tunes. And let's see. So Deadpool's thinking. Tap, tap, tap. Close up. I was like, oh, yeah, I can do that. And then he starts running. Really in your face, really dynamic. Wolverine shows the claws. He does the roar. Deadpool comes in shooting, looking really good. Like it. The claws cut the screen. We get Deadpool to the wink. Let me go into the title card. Alright, so turn on our light board. Let's go to our actual outline. Actually, turn off the light board. So we got a really nice drawing of the character, right? Tap, 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 tap. And then close up. Oh, yeah. And then before we left off in the last one, I did get a good preemptive drawing of Deadpool, like starting out the run, the push off. But I think what I'm gonna do, well, first I need to go back to this one right here. So I still have to go back in and put some of these little elements in like that. So that was missing. Perfect. Making sure, yep, everything looks good, looks good. All right, now let's go back to this part. And let's actually turn on, before I actually go to the fixing up that drawing, to the next drawing, I'm actually just gonna work on this one first. I'm gonna really tighten it up. Actually, the head looks fine. We just copy and pasted that same head. So, yeah, really make that. When we draw, or when I draw, I try to always make sure that if I make a particular line that looks funky or looks strange, like this curve right here, for instance, make it intentional. I remember that was a big concept I learned from graphic design. Never make something look like it's an accident. At least that's how I was taught. I don't know what graphic design is like these days with the new school, whatever. But that's how it was then. We'll come back and do the hands. The hands aren't difficult, but they just can be time consuming when you're trying to really push through and get things done. Especially if you don't know how you want it to look. And then right here on the shoulder. See what it is going around the shoulder. So I'm not gonna worry about I don't know if I want to put those lines in the chest like that. So I'll come back to it. I can see already I don't like how the how I actually designed this shoulder here. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna have to make a correction already, because the arm is actually going to go in like this. And actually, I think that's fine for now. We don't really have to get too bogged down into this detail right there necessarily. And let's get this, because if I'm not mistaken, so this leg is supposed to be like pads. He's wearing these like knee pads. So for this drawing here, we will be sure to make these pads really connect, sort of like so. And for this, I am going to do the bottom of the shoe instead of doing a more accurate, like instead of keep going back and forth to all these drawings and stuff. I think I'm just going to grab this one, save. I'm going to group it. Hopefully it doesn't crash, all right? Copy it. Come back to this right here. So now we can just use it as a reference for how the feet are going to look. I'll just put some lines here to show texture, and that it's the bottom of the foot. Like so. Looks good. Let's go ahead and erase some of this. And yeah, we'll erase that line right there. So how about those Oscars though, right? I mean, I don't know if any of y'all watch the Oscars, but being a big movie buff, really love movies and everything, and I can say that I've seen almost all the movies that were on all the lists for the most part. I started, what's that one movie? Poor Things. I started Poor Things, but didn't quite get to finish. But from what I saw, I think I liked. It's a little weird, but I mean, it is what it is. But Oppenheimer and Poor Things just cleaned up. And yeah, we'll bring this line all the way around. Sort of like so. So for right now, I'm just going to draw the lines of what's supposed to be, where it's supposed to be. Not really going to care too much about... It's like, oh man, you just drew out of the lines. It's not really going to matter at the end. I'll just make it work for now. Sort of like, let's do this line first, like that. Not digging that at all. Sort of like so. We'll come back and erase those lines a little bit later to clean it up. Yeah. We'll do it like that. That looks good. Boom. Sort of like so. We don't need to draw every line. For the guns, oh man, I really don't want to have to redraw every single thing, but I feel like we're gonna have to redraw some guns here. So let's just go ahead and make a makeshift gun real quick. Probably about right there. I think it's something kind of like this. Some lines down it like that. Sort of like so. Both hands. Like so. It's not going to be very pretty, but I think it will get the point across. Let's go in this direction. I feel like there was supposed to be some more that goes down like this. I'm going to do it anyway. Boom. Actually, the hilt can probably come down just a little. Hilt? Is that the right word? Handle? I'm going to say handle is the right word. Probably shrink this up just a little bit more. Seems like it's just a little too extra long. Save. group, put it to the side, copy, paste. Actually, just copy it here, then move it, and then paste. Put it right there like that. Hey, Chris, what's going on, man? You made it. Put it probably like right there. Let's actually go to the next screen. And move it down. Something kind of like that. And then go to even the next screen over that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh. And let's just shrink it down some to make it look like an actual hand. And then we'll get even closer and just start erasing where it's at. Yeah. Like so. How's all the how's things going with you over there, Chris? I'm glad you were able to join us tonight. So probably gonna take that. See, I made a mistake. So it needs to kind of stay right there. Sort of like that right there. Move that. And then we'll just make it to the size of the hand. I'm not going to worry about changing the size of the gun right now. Just get this hand in place. Yeah, that works. That's good. And all I have to do here really is just make it fit. Like that. Boom. And let's look at Deadpool's hands real quick. Let's see what the hands look like. If there's anything special. He actually has like these gauntlet things, so we can probably throw that in real. Yeah, he has gauntlets on all his designs, so we can throw that in real quick. Making dinner. Got the stream up on iPad. Just finished uploading a new Animate. Oh snap! Seriously? You know what? I don't think I need to make sure I follow your channel, man. I gotta check you out, and I gotta check out your shorts. We'll do something like that. But then, what are his gauntlet things? What do they look like exactly? If you feel it. Something kind of like... Yeah, we won't keep it too complicated. Something like that. There's nothing really interesting going on with his fingers necessarily, but I will throw in some like knuckles. Save, copy, paste, flip, spin, bring it down over here. Same thing we did last time was just move the arm up to meet the wrists. And then we will also do something like this. So the only reason we're spending so much time on this part here is just to make these still shots that are not moving as fast. Just to make them just a little pretty because it's going to sit on it for so long. Bam. Just like that. But I have a feeling once I get to the actual like movement, it won't be as pretty, for sure. All right, now let's copy all this stuff over, put it in place just like that, and start cleaning up. What you cooking over there, Chris? You made enough for everybody? That's funny. Actually, where are you out of? Are you out of you out of South, East, Midwest, West? I wonder what my audience, where they're coming out of, what that's looking like. People could be watching all over the world. Which one I have for this account are regular videos. Like you get into my animation behind the scenes videos. Yeah, definitely. Let's make sure we close his leg off. You know what? I will take that line out because it's just really getting in the way of everything else. We don't always need details for every single thing that we draw here. Something like that. Looking good. Let's do this. Let's grab the head, copy, paste it here. What we do need to do is give him a neck. I do want to see the neck kind of show up. That looks good. That's really good. Now let's put it right here. Actually, what I want to do is copy this, put it into his own layer, and then put some like action lines. And then here he just sits. Actually, he doesn't have to just sit. What we could do, he might sit for like a couple of frames. And then this one, yeah, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a couple of more frames in between to kind of help show. Let's copy that. Let's move that there. I think what I'm going to do is just move these ever so slightly. Like this. And then that. And just turn it ever so slightly. Oh, let's see. Oh, you're in Texas. Okay. Nice. That actually gives me a little bit more perspective. It's like, okay. If I haven't said it before, I'm actually in Miami. I mean, why did I say Miami? Why did I say Miami? I have no idea why I said Miami. I'm in Alabama. Not Miami at all. That's funny. I think I want to go to Miami. That's what that is. Secretly, deep down in my heart, I want to be in Florida. Um, but let's see here. Man, some of these little lines, I could have did this a lot better. Late to the party, per usual. Oh boy. Uh, Tardiness is your middle name, Katie. Let's see. Just kind of finishing up this drawing here, trying to pizzazz it, but I think I'm just making more work for myself, honestly. Why? I don't know. And then like that. So that's the finished product. Why is that hand in a different place? Gosh dang it. You know what? It's fine. I think I'm gonna take this, put it here. And then now we can get to the next drawing. I might come back and clean that up a little bit later too, but for now. This thing is not timed out, is it? Wow, this is not lined up at all. Okay, so I'm gonna have to fix that before I can move on. We gotta fix this. So just gonna add a couple of frames to each one of these. I think I did this behind the scenes. I didn't show you guys. I felt like it was moving a little too slow. And therefore I needed to line it up a little bit better. Let's take a gander. Let's take a gander, see, and just line this up. Yep, that looks good. Do that. Oh, no. Bring that back. Okay, right here. This is where we're going to start really getting, I don't want to say wild, but exaggerating some of the form a little bit and not, where's my onion skin? Can you run through it as, so you can understand what you're talking about? Hold on. For some reason, so you guys can't see it, but for some reason, there's a heart emoji over a part of your sentence, so I can't see your whole sentence for some. I don't know why. Who thought this was a great idea? Let me see if I can fix this. Oh, there you go. Can you run through it as it sits so I can understand what you're talking about? How many frames would extending an arm for a handshake would be? Ah, okay. And Chris, please jump in if you have any thoughts on this. So, but what I do when I first drew this as just the animatic, when it was just the let me go back to it here. Let me turn off my light board and go back to the actual drawing. Right here. So let me bring up the frames too. So if you can see what I'm looking at here, no, it's not gonna work. All right. So I have my board here. This is my drawing. So when I come in, all these little boxes, let me see if I make them bigger. If you can see this where it lights up, all these little boxes are called frames. All right. Now each frame is what is on a layer. A layer is like, okay, shade. All right, I'm gonna name it shade, and all these boxes are on that layer. So from the layers, I have these boxes. The boxes are actually called frames when it comes to like animation and video and stuff like that. So what I do is I select this one frame, and I take my pen and I start drawing. You draw something like the squiggly line or whatever. Now you have one frame. So for animation, I have to go to the next frame and move it ever so slightly so that it looks like it's a handshake. So you can actually make motion kind of happen with only a few frames. You don't need a whole lot, really. Just to kind of demonstrate very quickly. Promise it won't take long. And I'll get to the point of what I'm trying to make with how many frames here in a second. So you have a ball. I go to the next frame. And I turn on my onion skin because I can't see it right now, right? Turn on the onion skin. It makes it so it's light enough and it's in a different color so I know what to draw next based off of what I drew previously. So I want to move it. So I go slightly to the right. And I just start moving it. So now look, it looks like I moved it, right? Same concept for like a handshake or anything else you do. If I was going to do a handshake, I would do the picture, and then the next picture, the next frame, I would have it going down and then going up. So by the time I hit play, it's going to be like, oh, it's shaking. Now, when it comes to how many frames you need, it gets a little trickier because there's a speed to how fast your animation is going. So you can make your animation go 3 drawings a second, or you can make it go 12 drawings a second. And the reason why you would do that is the more frames you put into that 1 second, the more fluid it is. It looks more realistic. It looks more like my hand is actually flowing and moving because you're seeing all those pictures happen in that second. So if I use less pictures, less frames in that second, it's going to look choppy. And that's kind of what I do here. I don't do a whole bunch of drawings in 1 second because that's going to take forever. I'm just one guy sitting on a YouTube for 2 hours. I don't have time to be drawing 100 frames for 30 seconds. And that's kind of all there is to it. So that's what 3 frames look like in this one little second. You can see how choppy it is. But if I drew like 30 in this 1 second, it would flow. Kind of like a Disney movie, like Aladdin or Snow White or something like that. But yeah, there you go. So what I'm doing here, when I first drew this, and you saw the what's going on? There it is. When I first drew this, I only did 1 frame at a time. So I did 1 drawing, 1 drawing, 1 drawing, 1 drawing, and I set the speed so low, it looked like it was fluid enough. But when you go to play on most places do it 24 frames per second. Me here, I'm doing like 9 frames per second, which is way lower, and it's gonna be a lot choppier compared to everybody else. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question, Katie. And the second part, how do you determine that? I just feel it. It's just based on what I'm looking at, and then I don't do a lot. I know I'm not going to do a lot of frames, so I just set it. So I was like, okay, this is good enough. And I'm being lazy, so generally we animate with 24 frames per second. Yep. Yeah, see, 240 frames for 10 seconds. That's good. That's really good. But man, I can only imagine. It's like you draw 240 frames or animate 240 frames, and then it ends up only 10 seconds. And you're like, man, now imagine doing a full 3-minute music video for an artist, and they're like, hey, I want like a 3-minute song. Can you animate that? I want it 24 frames per second, and I want him jumping out of the sky. I want him transforming into a bird, and I want him like shooting guns. I want him doing all this. And it's like, you want me to draw all of that, 24 frames per second, and you want color, and you want music, and you want effects and lights and stuff. That's why animation gets so expensive, because it's time spent doing all that. And generally, it wouldn't just be one person. It would be like a team of animators, if I'm not mistaken. But it did. So the frames per second is almost a creator's style in a way. Yes, but generally, for the most part, it will be 24 frames per second is the speed. And that's how many drawings you're going to do for 1 second. But for me, like I said, I'd probably do like 9 frames per second. Chris, I have to check out your stuff. I'm new to this stuff, but good. You should have a growing interest. You should have a growing interest because it's interesting. All right, let's see where we're at. Oh, I made it so big I can't see it. Right there. So, and what you see me doing, you see me going back and forth. It's like, okay, I want to see what it looks like, see what I'm working with. And the really tricky part to all this too is looking at my previous drawing in red right here, looking at the drawing I have to fix up right here, and drawing it and not getting confused by all the stuff on the screen. So I'm probably going to do something kind of like this. I'm going to make his head kind of elongated. I'm going to do the elongation of his head so that it shows like movement. Kind of check it out. Save. And what did I start with? I started with this shoulder. And do his hand kind of like so. Nope. Do a makeshift gun real quick. Ah. Kind of like so. Let me take a look at it, make sure I'm not getting confused. And then let's get his back in here. Let's get something like this. So when you're running, it's going to be, his hip is going to be shifting the other way with this leg going backwards. Kind of like so. As getting further away. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. Let's fix this shoulder though. Like that. Now let's see. Let's see what it looks like. Maybe we can kind of put a little bit of the leg right there. I think by the time I'm done animating everything, I usually end up drawing everything like, I usually end up drawing all of my animations like 3 times over. I do the actual like pencil figure, like the stick figure kind of thing, and then I'll do like a rough draft drawing that I'm doing now, and then I'll do the final drawing that you see in the animation. Let's see, I have to check out your stuff. Yep. It took a couple hours, but I think because I generally work with drawn symbols with keyframes and tweens, it wouldn't take as long since up to this point I haven't done much frame by frame. Really? See, I didn't understand if your style took frame by frame as much as mine did. Um, yeah, everything you see that I do, I'm hand drawing it, all of it, over and over and over. So yeah, 'cause I can only imagine what it's like for you. I think I'm gonna keep it pretty fluid like that. Just make sure I capture all the details though. Something like so. I don't like this hand. This hand looks like garbage. But it's gonna be kind of like, and a lot of times too, another really fun thing about animating for me is like when I'm creating my ideas like this and I try to get like really crazy and really fluid and stuff, I will literally get up and I'll start acting it out. Um, I might look like a crazy man, but I actually like a kid playing with his toys and stuff. I'll act like I'm like zooming in and like flying real fast and all this kind of stuff just to get a feel for like, okay, if I'm gonna run fast, I'm gonna do like this, and then like, oh, okay, that's how naturally it's gonna be like that or whatever. Um, it really helps with getting into it, and it's fun too, if you ask me. I think I like that head. I'm gonna keep that head, but we can go back to this part with the gun. Get rid of all this. And my way may be very unconventional too, so. But also, I don't think I'm really recreating the wheel here, necessarily. Let's put it like right there. Let's put it like that. The problem is I'm probably going to have to end up warping this just a little bit. Like so. The thing is, I don't want it. You know what? Instead of redrawing all that part right there, it's really the gun that I wanted to. That I wanted to move. So put it like right there. Take some of that thumb out. We're not going to see the thumb as much. Oh shit. What did I just do? What did I just do? Oh man, I think I hit some. What was that? I hit some keyboard shortcut. Okay. And it like changed everything on me for a second. I think it was probably some old shortcut to. Let's move this. Let's move all that. To just change the frame basically, so I think we're still good. And I don't really need to draw so much of the hand right now because again, this is going to be the warped, really fast moving piece right here anyway. Really taking what you call liberties with this whole thing. And I'm saying it so much not only for explanation but also for myself too, because a lot of times I will get so into it and I'm like, Oh, well, if I just do one more part, it's like, no, 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 just move on. I think it was this way, actually. Put one more like that. Save, copy, bring it over here. Let's fix that right there. Perfect. Let's put it kind of like right here in this eyeball. Yep, right there. That should be good. Good, good. All right, now let's give him a cleaner looking, whatchamacall here. Let's see, what's your preferred thing to animate? Genre is comedy. Ooh, okay. Did you say you were starting a series, Chris, or something like that? You're working on a series? So it's going to be over. Like that. Like so. Like that. And then give him some butt cheeks. Like so. Nope. Something like that. Okay. Get these shoulders in here real quick. And then we'll bring the arm, shoulder straps. There you go. Bring those around. Get his back. Get these straps again. Boom. And I think we're good with this. Now just clean up. That looks good. Let's I tell you what, let's go ahead and erase all of this, because we don't need it anymore. Let's bring this over. Ha! Nice. And just a little bit more cleanup, and then I'm going to move on to the next part. Oh, gotta make sure these gaps are closed, because if we don't, it's not going to color right for us. We'll go to drop in the color. All right, what's the next picture? Turn on the Matic. Oh, it extends for a little bit. Then there's nothing, he goes away. Probably want to put something in there to kind of show, maybe like his head or something. And then show some action lines. And then kind of like maybe like his back, just something. I think it would be a disservice to not have some kind of motion going through. And then as we finish this and get to the finish, like the last drawing, there's always room to go back in and make it and add to it, take from it, whatever. All right, so right here, let's go ahead and grab the shoot. So I'm hitting more keyboard shortcuts here. Let's grab his face, his head. I want to get one that's... Did I not group any of these? That's crazy. So let's just grab this one right here. As we get up close, let's fix these eyes up real quick. Yeah, let's get rid of all the eyes. Give him some really badass eyes. Sort of like that. I can't wait till we get to the part with the actual shooting and everything that he does. Where's my toolbar? There we go. Like so. Yeah, perfect. Let's group this because I can't keep having it not grouped. And actually, it's not at the angle we need it at, so I'm gonna have to redraw it. Put his little Z thing right here. I'm gonna try to draw it as accurately as possible. Let's see if I can use that same drawing without having to draw it again. Let's see. I think so. I think it works. And the idea is that he's going to be not hunched over, but he's really charging. He's really going at it. Let's turn our cropping off. Put it to the side. Just kind of get it back in there. Oh. Like so. Let me see here. I think I'm getting confused by what's under it. Yeah, there we go. Yep. Who is this? This is okay, you do have any finish a series eventually. All my animations are one-off. Still trying. Definitely not. The best I can do is stick figures. No, don't say that. Let's do something more like that. Okay, you can be an accomplished artist as well. All it takes is just believing yourself. Like that. Let me see how that looks with the... Nah, I think we probably just need to do something like... There we go. Like the legs. Then that's like his arm. And of course, we got to get the straps on his back, around his back, I should say. Let's get rid of that. So if that's his shoulder, like that, it's going to get messy. It's going to get really confusing. But that's the beauty of animation. We got to keep track. And then we'll do a nice little zoom in. I think I'm going to copy this head. Oh. Let's make it really big. We're going to keep using size and shape to create our motion here. So that's his chest, coming real close. Those are his legs. These are the straps around his shoulders. It's all about keeping that character design in your head and making sure what you're drawing is what's coming out. Oh, shoot. And then right here, nah, we can draw that arm a little bit better than that. I think I need to take off this cropping. I think that's messing me up. That's his hand, or his arm going into his hand. That's his thumb. And then, of course, this is going into his fingers. Something like this. Again, holding the gun. Going to use a little bit of foreshortening here. Ah, man, I couldn't get the circle right. I'm going to grab these eyes so I can know right where to put them. And if these drawings end up being good enough, I might just tweak them instead of trying to redraw them over again. Like this head is definitely not going to do it. See, what I want to do is show that arm. Okay, I see it. There we go. Oh, man. So what's happening is like he's doing one of these numbers. So I drew this. Now I'm trying to draw this part, his bicep right there. So I probably need to just like that. And then his shoulder goes into it right that, like so. There we go. But then this shoulder back here is further back. So we won't see it as prominently. In fact, I could probably just something like this. And we'll see this arm kind of in the background. Yeah, It looks messy right now, but that is nice. A few things I won some local awards. Ooh, I didn't know that. Grid drawings. Stick nodes. I never heard of stick nodes before. So let's before we go any further, let's go back and clean this up a little bit. Excuse me. So let's turn the crop on. Let's turn the animatics off. I feel like I can fix that face. I can fix this head a little bit better. In fact, where's the other one? How did it look? There it is. There we go. Yeah, I did put kind of like a little... sharpen his face a little bit. Like that. Now let's actually sharpen up these circles. Like so. Fix this up. We gave him some cool eyes right here. Let's go ahead and copy those. Actually, let's see if we can just copy this. If we can just steal this thing. Maybe tweak it a little bit. Also, there's definitely a lot of problem solving that goes with this too. And all we got to do really is just fix this part of his face, because it's going to be less of a front profile and more of a side profile. So all of this can kind of shift over a little bit. Like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to use that. Maybe we can bring this over a little bit. Nice. Make sure these lines are connected. Tighten it up, because this is our final drawing, so it needs to be a little tighter than usual. All right, clean up. Save. Cool. I'm gonna do that right there. All right. A few things that won some local court. If you're saying it, it's because you want it. Hey, look at that. I'm glad y'all are becoming friends. Oh boy. Oh, Jill Scott. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Jill Scott hitting a little different. Some of these songs, like I don't know. I just never heard them before or something, but. That looks good. Good, good, good. All right, now let's clean this up. Let's see what. Chris, you said you were in Texas. Where not where, but how do you like it out there? What's it like where you're at? I'm curious actually. Because that was Texas is actually a place I wouldn't mind um living at, staying at maybe one day. I don't know how far Texas Austin is from an Air Force base, so I guess I've always considered if I PCS to another base, it would be like Lackland. Never even thought about Shepherd. Maybe even Shepherd. That's good. I like it. Save group. Save this head that we did. I want to move it, make it bigger. Uh oh. Like this. Boom. And also, Chris, I don't remember if we talked about it before. Oh, you don't want Lackland? What's wrong with Lackland? The only thing I remember about Lackland is going there for basic. I can't believe, man, how long it's been. But San Antonio in general, I did TDY there a couple times. It wasn't too bad. I remember it was hot. That was the. I feel like that's the only thing I really remember about basic training and and Lackland in general. Just marching around in those uniforms. I remember this one girl passed out. It was like, don't lock your knees. It's like, don't lock your knees. I'm like, why? And then this one girl passed out. I was like, oh. That makes sense. Oh, I think I was asking Chris, I don't remember if we talked about you do client work too, right? And if you do, what do you charge? Well, I don't know if that's real proper etiquette to ask what you charge, but um, have you ever found it difficult or challenging to charge people? I remember when I first started out and I was charging and all this kind of stuff. It was it was a challenge trying to come up with like the right prices and stuff. Now when I do charge, it's always like it's really selfish really. It's like, man, how much of my time are you taking up? What am I what do I feel like charging you to make it worth my while? Yeah. So I gotta keep this consistent. Yeah, see that zoom in movement is definitely coming in handy. Let's grab this face again. Let's go to the next scene. Let's actually go ahead and put these in place. Did it not come in? Okay, there we go. Like so. That's good. Let's bring it down to like about right there. You don't want Lackland traffic. It's terrible there. Oh, really? Is it worse than Charlotte? Because I stayed in Charlotte for like 15 years, and the traffic could be atrocious. Yes, at a certain time though. So I wonder. The city is much different than the rural parts. When it's hot, it's really hot. Winters are rather mild, but I dislike the cold. Okay, it's pretty cool there. Worth taking a trip. Spend a few days. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. You being put to the test, Chris? Let's create our gun here. Just going ahead and making this drawing as tight as possible the first go round. Oh, is this music Soul Child? Oh, snap, son. I like this. I would sing the songs, but I don't know these songs. These are brand new songs to me, so maybe if something comes on that I like, that I know, y'all be serenaded. And once I finish this drawing, we'll run back through it real quick to make sure everything is still on track and looking good. We're obviously not going to finish tonight, but we'll have made some progress though. I think Austin is an amazing city because it seems like everyone there is a collaborator with something or someone within their field and work interests. Full disclosure, I've never been there. I'm giving you the look, right? This is the look. That's the look. However, at some point that city is going to burst. It seems that there won't be oh, it won't be the Austin. I can only see half the mess, or not half of it. Some of it's missing. Okay, fair enough. You still got the look though. I might have to, before I do all that, I'm gonna have to erase the face first. Ah, man. Okay, that's fine. That might be, because he's doing one of these numbers, it might be too. No, no, we can exaggerate it. It's our drawing. We can do whatever we want. Kind of like that. All right. Boom. Let's do that. Make sure we close it off real good. Oh man, you know what? Before I can erase that. There it is. I'm about to say, where did my drawing go? Put the texture lines in. I think Chris might be eating right now, Katie. He said he was whooping up a dish. So let's erase all of this right here. Ah, jeez. I can't believe it's already like 8:25. Wow. I think I only got like 3 or 4 drawings done, which is crazy. That's why to get 240 drawings done, frames, I should say frames done, and a few hours time is, for me, it's not doable. Maybe it's just the way I do it. Maybe there's a better way to do what I'm doing. But it requires a lot. Like that. And then probably don't even need that much, honestly. Probably could just do the hand. Let's just do the fingers. Kind of like this here. Man, yeah, I need to go to a different frame because I can't see what I'm doing. But once you get to this part, though, it's probably not even necessary because it's going to be cut off like that. Like that, and then just a little bit more. Then we'll do our little recap real quick. I don't do freelance just because of no time. Yeah, I feel you. Now let's copy all this, bring it over here. I need this eye. Save, ungroup. You know what? I don't need to do all that. Let's just draw it. I don't have to copy everything. But then we are going to do a leg kind of coming down here. like so. Beauty. Mm. What's this? This is Drew Hill. Probably won't even see all of that. Just that portion right there. And it's funny because by the time I end all this probably only comes out to about, I think, 20 seconds worth of time. Look, all of that stuff I just got finished drawing, it's not even going to show up. Let's turn on the Matic. Let's see how many frames. Just 2. All right, let's recap and see what we got here. Let's see. Don't do freelance. If I did charge for animation, it would be certainly depend on what the client wanted, how much time it would take. It's hard to say. Yeah, right. If it was something that took a whole week to make, 8 hours per day. Yeah, that's about right. I would almost say even more, honestly. I could definitely see that. All right, let's see here. I'm just gonna recap real quick because we are coming up on our time. I'm not sure how much more we'll get done in the next 30 minutes. So we kind of did this part right here. Yeah, that looks good. So now the next part is when it starts zooming out a little bit more. It's kind of like this one. Where is the... Right there. We'll just have to redraw it. Let's do his back, kind of like that. Franklin barbecue is pretty good. Thin line. It's too long all the time. You have to show up like 7 a.m. to get food. Or no, I don't believe that. Chris, I don't believe that. I can't believe that. That's insane. That's insane, man. 7 to get food at 11? 11 o'clock? 11 o'clock is lunchtime. That's so... Nah, I think it just blew my mind. I think it'd be best for us to go ahead and start drawing each section as necessary so that we can get the character, so we can use it in all the frames going forward. Sort of like so. So it needs to be kind of like I probably want to have them one motion like this for both sides, and then with the arms extended for both sides as well. That's a whole thing. People bring their chairs and beer. That's insane. I couldn't imagine. Nah, I couldn't wait for food like that. You a saint, man. You a saint, because this guy would have been. I I can't. I don't have the patience for it. Actually, let's erase everything. Oh man. Sort of like that. Just kind of drawing the arm in to make it make sense for me. Like that. Yeah. Gotta kind of build this as I'm going now. This better barbecue place is awesome with no crazy lines. It's just so hype because it's been on Food Network. Oh, that's a good. Yeah, that makes sense now. I'm like, yo. I mean, does it got crack in it or something? Like what? You seen that movie? They cloned Tyrone last year. You were making me think of that. Like they had that one scene when they were eating all the chicken and everything, and they had something in the chicken, some kind of formula to make like just. I mean, just black people. It was black people go crazy over fried chicken. And I was like, yo, that's so messed up. But that was the point of the movie, was to be messed up, you know. All you gotta do is say yes. Sort of like so. And kind of have his head tilted up like this. Yeah, that's looking good. It's kind of like his hand is from the bottom, so we see it kind of like. Oh, wrong side. I'm like, why does it look like that? It looks funny. I did it. Wait a second. Yeah. I'm like, I just did this. Like so. Very good. And then just erasing all this in between. Very good. I wanted to ask you, since I noticed your channel is growing at a pretty rapid rate, can you share particular things that you're doing to drive traffic and gain subscribers? Yeah. How rapid rate. I noticed that too. Honestly, I'm boosting it. I'm boosting it with cash. Um, so I tried a couple things. When I decided, it was like, all right, I'm gonna take this seriously. I'm really gonna get on the channel and start pushing it and stuff like that. Um, Before actually I decided to do that, I was doing apparel online, drop shipping, and the reason why this is important is because I had already set aside a whole budget for promoting and marketing and all that kind of stuff. And when I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take this YouTube seriously. A lot of people I was working with and talking to all the time, they were like, yo, you need to do your YouTube. You need to do your cartoons and stuff. That's what people like. That's what you like. You should do that. So I was like, all right, cool. So I pivoted and I stopped doing all of my marketing and boosting over there, and I started doing it over here. And so what that did is it allowed me to put a budget towards it. Um, I was able to try different things too. I tried boosting my process videos. I tried boosting the cartoons, the tunes by themselves, just different things. And I noticed that certain things were making more, not making money, were getting more attention than other videos. So I was like, oh, okay. I think I tried between like 5 different kinds of videos. And I was like, oh, okay. I need to do that then. And I kept doing that with those certain videos. The ones in particular that really worked were the finished cartoons, the fully animated color, everything. Like my Titan video that's in purple. That one is probably my best video right now. Um, it's getting all the views and engagement. So when I go to YouTube, I boost it for engagement, and then I think I have it set to like United States, Vietnam, and India or something like that. I let it auto choose different places, and at first I put I think like $20 towards it just to see what was gonna happen, and then I also did the same thing for my Philandroids episode 1 edited without the cussing in it, and I did that one for a lot more money. I'm not gonna say how much, but I knew my Philandroids cartoon was solid. I was like, I know it's good. I believe in it. I'm gonna put this much money towards it. Go. And then I was like, Titan, I'm gonna put $20 towards it. Go. For Titan was engagement. For Philandroids, it was views. And what I noticed was my Philandroids, over almost the same amount of time, I got maybe 200 subscribers out of it or something like that. Maybe 400. I forget. You know what? I can look at it right now. I can look at it right now. From the Philandroids episode, I got where is it at? How many subscribers? Hold on, I have to go online. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and pause this, save it, and we're gonna end this portion of the drawing, and I'll just finish it off with talking with you about this. Keep in mind, I'm still fledgling. I am still learning. I am still making so many mistakes with all this. But I'll give you anything I can to help you out. That's helping me. Analytics. No, I don't think it was analytics. I need to find this because it's very relevant. Let's see. Content. There we go. I'm like, man, why can't I find this? I got. Nope, that's not it either. All right, I'll just make up a number. Anyway, so I think watch. I'm gonna go away from here and I'm gonna find it right away. With the Philandroids episode, I think I made like 400 subscribers off of a month worth of time with all this money, and I got all these views, like 44,000 views on this one video for that Titan video, which is nowhere the same amount of time, nowhere the same amount of effort. It took 2 weeks to make. I put it for like engagement or something like that. That video got me like over 1,000 or so subscribers with that one video for $20 for the same amount of time. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I spent this much money on this full episode, which is 8 minutes long. I think this is the trick. 8 minutes long, fully. It could use some remastering, some touching up. I do know that, but I had voice actors. I spent months working on it. I worked on the script and did all these things. I put all this money towards it and it got me a couple hundred. I did the same thing 2 weeks worth of time for this like 1 minute video. Not even 1 minute. I had to like put it on loops to make it 1 minute. Let's say a 30-second video, and I got like over 1,000 or so. So I was like, okay. So I switched it up and I made Philandroids. I think it's still going for views. I put like a couple extra more dollars towards it for views. And I took some of my other cartoons, I call them tunes for short, but my tunes for Titan, my Titan tune, my Bahamut tune, and some of those fully finished tunes that only last like a minute. I boost them for like $20, or whatever. And those are bringing in views, is bringing in subscribers, mainly subscribers, doing engagement boost. It's like subscribers, I go up like 200 a day so far with those alone. So I was like, okay, that's what people want. They want to see fully done videos for a minute or less that is fun and engaging, that they can watch over and over. And then maybe if you throw in some good music with it too, that's really engaging, you can throw $10 on it and you'll get like 100 subscribers. Yeah, man, definitely. So that's a trick to getting more subscribers, I've noticed. But to monetize, I haven't really figured that out. I think because it shows you what you got to do. It's 4,000 watch hours. And I don't have 4,000 people watching my stuff for an hour, or have a lot of people watching it for 1 minute to equal an hour yet. So it's gonna take time. I'm not rushing it. I'm patient. And honestly, people like you being here is awesome. I can't say it enough, man. I really appreciate you becoming like a distant cousin a little bit through the YouTubes, and you're boosting my watch hours. So that's awesome. One thing I noticed from the studio page is that it says subscribers, watch time earned through promotion do not contribute to the program. Yes, that's something that I learned as well, because I was boosting it, and at first I was just boosting it just to learn. So basically it seems like you should do promotions after you do the first 1,000 subs. Yes, so that's something I haven't really figured out just yet either, but as many views as I have like, let me see the watch time. If it did count, I would have over 1,300 hours in watch time. But since it doesn't count, I have nowhere. I don't even have 1,000 in watch time. So I'm like, all right, I need to have organic views coming through. That means a lot of pushing, a lot of making sure the content is engaging, fun, and all that kind of stuff. Being genuine, or whatever you have to do. That's what it's going to take. So I just got to keep staying consistent and keep doing it, and hopefully people will keep seeing it. I will say this, even though it doesn't count to keep boosting and getting views that way, for it to count toward your subscribers and your monetization, I have noticed that what my strategy right now is, like, I still get those views and get those subscribers off of it, and it shows up in their feed over time. They'll be like, "Oh, that's that one guy I subscribed to. Let me watch that," organically after they've subscribed. So I think that's another little thing I'm playing with right now to see if that's true. Otherwise, like you said, promotions. Just keep promoting, keep sharing, keep trying to figure out the algorithm or whatever people say or whatever. I'm just doing this for fun, really, until I can get some money out of it. But yeah, man, just keep making short content with long live stream videos. So I'll tell you what, it's 8:50. I think we're at a good stopping point, and I'm gonna go ahead and call it right here. So again, thank you for showing up. I'm gonna live stream again on Friday at 7 o'clock. I'm actually taking Friday off from my main job, so there should be no hiccups and starting at a good time. I was thinking of maybe even doing 2 streams that night, or maybe doing a different day. I don't know. Either way, I'll be there at 7 o'clock on Friday. We're gonna finish some more drawings. I'm not gonna promise we'll finish this, but we'll finish some more drawings. I might even be able to stream for longer than